Grand Rising. Welcome to another episode of Amplify with Amanda Sapp. And I'm your host, Amanda Sapp. And in this show, we amplify the voices behind the work. We bring you conversations with the artists, entrepreneurs, state leaders, and culture shapers who aren't just making noise, they're making impact. We talk purpose, process, and what it really takes to stay consistent, stay grounded, and keep evolving. Now, if you've been living under a rock for the last 30 years, you already know today's guests are legendary. We've got the award-winning gospel duo, Dawkins Dawkins, brothers Eric and Anson, here on the air with us today. Their sound and songwriting helped shape gospel and Christian R&B for decades. I'm going to mention just a few here. Pray for me. Need to know. This praise is for you from now on and get down. First of all, again, Dawkins, welcome to Amplify with Amanda Sapp. I'm so glad to have you.
Thank you so much, Amanda. We're glad to be here.
I have to tell you, when I found out that I was going to have you on today, I said to myself, no way. This can't be. Absolutely not.
For sure, it's happening.
It's happening. I'm a super huge fan of yours. All of your songs. I remember growing up listening. You never could tell if it was Christian or if it was gospel music or if it's R&B. And then I started seeing about contemporary, and it was just like, what is it? And you just didn't know. But whatever it was, it felt good. I wanted to hear it, and it just was good across the board. So, congratulations to you guys for, being trailblazers and what it sounds like to hear music to be whatever you want it to be good, and but also uplifts and makes you really think. And but yeah, that's my takeaway, my little spiel I wanted to share with you guys, and how you really shaped the culture of gospel music. So for me, and I think I speak for our generation when I say thank you.
Wow, thank you. We're honored and humbled. Sincerely, that is to hear those words, and to know that we've made an impact is so meaningful to us. There's not much more we could ask, but for people to recognize that we just wanted to share the gift that God gave us, and the music, it was what we felt, and I think that along over the years, it has influenced some others as well, to start doing music like that, or to feel free to, they had that song in them, those songs that vibe in them, and they wanted to share it too, and we kind of hopefully opened the door for that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Well, I know you did. I know you opened the door for that, and I know we're here to talk about your collaboration with Gene Moore and the upcoming gig that you guys have on Saturday, February the 21st at 7 p.m. at House of Blues at the Foundation Room. But if you could touch on just a little bit about what it meant to make that change, that trailblaze, to make that music, or you're rebuked at any point. I know
we actually were. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. So we were actually, we tell a story about when we were there's several places we went, and people would tell us that that's not gospel music. Mm-hmm. And we, without being disrespectful, we would challenge them, like, okay, one place in particular, we were at a in-store in Chicago, and the owner, we challenged him to listen to it. And matter of fact, it was no.
Oh, kind of cut off a little bit. I can hear you now.
Okay. So the store owner we were listening to Need to Know, and he said it wasn't gospel. So we challenged him to listen to it and not just play it. And so after hearing the words and us being there and explaining to him, like, this is what we're talking about, he had to change his tune. So, but we definitely went through a season, or I'll say a couple of seasons of not being gospel enough for gospel radio, but being too gospel for secular radio. So we were kind of stuck in the middle. It's kind of a limbo place, but we were okay with it because we knew that this was what we were called to do. So we were going to continue to do it. just the way that God gave it to us. So, and over time, of course, with Trailblazers, it catches on, and it's not necessarily a glamorous thing to be a trailblazer or a trendsetter, because a lot of times you don't get to enjoy, the fruit of the labor, so to speak, because those that come after you, you've actually paved the way for people to come after you and have a smoother ride. So, but we're okay with it. We're like, this is just us, and we'll continue to do it as long as God tells us to.
Can you guys touch on the frustration in that? I'm sure it had to be some when it came to awards, or when it comes to recognition, or when it comes to being invited to certain spaces, or was there? Maybe I'm wrong here, but were there any frustrations? And if so, how did that feel, and how did you kind of maneuver through that? I know you're fine today, but at the time, what was that like?
I don't think I didn't feel any frustration, because again, this was something that we were passionate about, and it wasn't something that we weren't seeking like the awards and all that type of stuff. So it wasn't a thing like, they're not going to invite us, so we're not going to get an award for this or that because our music is this. We just loved what we did, and we did it just to do it. Like
Yeah.
the impact that it had was absolutely something that we didn't expect. It was just first of all, we were huge Commission fans.
Who was it?
Imagine Commission music, but Commission, like, lyrically, they would take literal scriptures and make songs out of those. We came from a different creative space of, like, let's say that but not say that. Like, there's a way to say it, because I think we were trying to capture our generation, like the younger ones that were listening to secular, but their parents wasn't letting them, because we get a lot of testimonies about kids who were saying, like, I didn't like that church music, but when my dad brought Chelsea out, one in particular, and this is not a name drop, but I've worked with Wanye Morris from Boyz II Men. He told me the way he got put on this was his dad brought one of our projects home, and he got hooked. Like, yo, this is the kind of gospel I want to listen to. So we just, stuff like that happened, and we found out much later on, of course. But like I said, we continue to do what God told us to do, and the result is what it is now. We have celebrities that tell us, I mean, we've been listening to y'all for years. I grew up listening to y'all. My mom would play y'all on Saturdays when we was cleaning up the house, stuff like that. So it was never, let's make this record to get a Grammy award or any type of award. Let's just make some good music that feels good to us and hopefully feels good to somebody else.
Understand that, and I can appreciate that. That you all's music, it was the closest to secular music that I could get. And I think we lost your Anthony.
My brother.
I know he'll come back on here in just a moment.
I can hold it down until he gets back.
You're definitely holding it down. I do see someone is trying to join, but let me take a look at. There he is. Okay, give me 1 sec. Or no, it's your manager, Christopher is in the background. I don't know that he's joining this conversation with us today, but no, he is not joining this conversation. He's just making sure that things are going as planned. But listen, yes, your music was the closest to secular music that I could get to, and not even realizing that is what I even wanted, or it just felt relatable. And as talk about that, as I've heard people mention that gospel music isn't as relevant today. What is it that we're missing today that isn't tapped in as you all were back then?
I think the authenticity, the realism. I mean, I will call it a pandemic of unoriginality. Let's call it that, because somebody hears something and they want to do that. So there's not a lot of difference in gospel music, and it really started happening when the worship craze happened. I'll call it craze because that's what it is. We love worship. We're worshipers. But that sound, once somebody got very popular from it, a lot of people start emulating that. And of course, if it's something that they love, cool. But I just felt like there was so much of that people started sounding the same. There's a lot of cookie cutter, copy cloning type stuff going on. So you can turn on the radio and hear, it might be 5 different artists and it sounds like one long song.
Mhm.
The same 5 chord progressions and the same type of, and so that's what makes it different now than it was back then. There was separation. You knew when a Richard Smallwood came on. You knew when a Hezekiah came on. You knew when the Winans came on. You knew when Commission came. You knew when Men of Standard came on. You knew when Vicky Winans came. There was separation. Like you could distinctively tell who was coming on, whether it was by their music, obviously vocally, but even musically, like the style was different enough to where you wouldn't get caught in one area.
And I have to ask you, Anson, and thanks for joining back on here.
Mm-hmm.
Who is Dawkins and Dawkins today?
Who is Dawkins and Dawkins today? Wow. Well, there are. It's hard to define who we are, but we are definitely settled into a place of. I think you have the rhythm and praise aspect of what we do. We also find a lot of value in going back and getting some of our old stuff. We're like realizing, as we listen to certain things, that that was pretty cool. Let's kind of go back and pull some, because we're gonna be releasing in the future some reimagined songs. But we're a lot more mature, of course. Hopefully we've grown a little bit, and we have a lot better understanding of that a lot of what happens, where people are, have different opinions of our music, or what has been, or what is right now. We understand that, that's on them. We feel an obligation to continue to share our music, share our hearts, speak freely, speak our mind. If we're not talking about something in a way that is that seems to be to align with our music or align with our lives, we won't be talking about things that are not aligning with our lives, with our music. We tend to be, very, very open. It's like what you see is what you get. We're not, it's not like we never really bought into the industry, the industry stuff. We just say, okay, well, it's almost like we would say we're country boys, but we've been, we lived in Tennessee, we lived in Ohio, we lived in Iowa, so we've been around, and now we're both on the West Coast. So it has broadened us a tremendous amount, because we've lived in different places around the country, and it is created or formed us to be, more well-rounded people, I believe.
What do you? Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was like, did I answer your question?
No, you absolutely did. You absolutely did.
Okay.
And I want to know from either of you, what do you think has been the key to the longevity that people don't see?
Our love of the music, and our love for God, period. Like it literally, I think we don't do it. We haven't done it for like any type of financial gain or any of that kind of stuff. It's just, we literally love music. We've been singing since we were 3 and 4, like with my mom. She used to sing before my dad would preach. And so by the time we were 4 and 5, we were doing 3-part harmony with my mom. So that was just something that we always did. And then segue into, my mom was the minister of music for the church. She played organ. And so we naturally gravitated to instruments. I played keys, and my brother played drums. So we played for my dad's church for years. So it was something that was just kind of a part of our everyday Um, and when we started realizing that we could create our own music by playing these instruments, that's when I think our love for doing this part of it
Yeah.
was. And it wasn't immediate because, for years when we were teenagers, we were part of a couple of local groups where we lived. And, even getting a little taste of that, we kind of ourselves decided this is something we wanted to do on a larger scale. And the guys that were part of the groups, they didn't have the same type of mentality or same mindset to be more, outreaching than that. So we ended up parting ways with them and ended up getting discovered by Fred Hammond, or getting a chance to meet Fred Hammond, and him taking what we were already doing and putting it on a larger, bigger platform. So again, it came from us loving to do it. We made what would probably be called mixtapes today as radio station. We would just record on a little, I think it was a 4-track or a eight
The
eight
eight. Yeah.
eight track machine. We do some demos that I would cringe if I heard today, but this was our our humble beginnings, and it just blossomed from there.
I want to touch on that just for a moment. A couple of things here. Being in a group, deciding to part ways, and as it is, I'm sure it's difficult to do that, or making that decision. But then realizing maybe this was the best decision we could have made, running into Fred Hammond and all these different things. I know in the rock star world, it's all exciting. Everything's moving quickly. Is it the same in the gospel industry? Are there, times where it's like, we're moving fast, we're here and there. There's women over here that want to pray for you when you get to church, or they're waiting for you. Give me a little bit about what it's like being
Women that want to pray
in this industry, as you both are.
You know what? I don't think we were fortunate. We were I think we were covered. We were shielded a little bit from that. There definitely are groupies and fans that might go a little extra, or be a little extreme with their appreciation, or their admiration for us, but it was just never a thing for us to get caught up into that. And I'll just speak for me. Like, even all during school, I didn't want my classmates to know that I could sing, so I never joined any talent contests or anything like that. I was in the glee choir for a hot second, and that was because our neighbor at the time was the choir master, like the teacher, and I was just like, I'll just do it. But I never wanted anybody to like sing and that be the reason that they like me. So I was real funny about that, to the point where I told some girl, I said, "Why do you like me?" And she said, "Well, you're cute and you can sing." And I was like, "Oh, what if I walked out of my house and got hit in the throat with a golf ball and couldn't sing no more?" But there goes my voice, and so you're not gonna like me. So it was really a thing with me. It's weird today, but back then I really didn't want anybody to like me because I could sing. So yeah, we didn't get caught up in those traps. I'll speak for me. I don't know. And somebody want to add something to that?
No. Excuse me.
I can't hear you.
No, you can't hear me?
I think we got disconnected.
Uh-oh. Where's Amanda?
Hello?
Hey. Uh-oh.
Are we disconnected?
We're still on. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. We don't see the host.
Me no see. Me no see. Uh-oh.
Are you guys there? Did I catch?
Yeah, we lost you for a minute.
I knew when I mentioned a Jezebel in any way that this would happen. I apologize about that.
She's
Are we
back.
there? Did I catch you guys? Are you still on?
We're here. I'm here.
There we are. Okay.
Oh no.
We left off were mentioning about how you guys were fortunate. You did not get wrapped up in all of that as far as, people trying to, you know, come to you, towards you, women, all these other different things that happen in that during that time. So I can appreciate you sharing that information
I
with
mean,
us.
it wasn't because they didn't think we were cute or whatever, because we did have some that would, approach us like that, but it was just like it was like, oh, okay, cool, cool,
Mm-hmm,
cool,
mm-hmm.
thank you.
And we're moving on.
And we keeping it moving. To be honest, I don't even know. Well, I know it was definitely God protecting us, because I
Sure.
know I know plenty of people that get caught up in that, and it becomes like a drug to them, so they look for that. But and even in commission, I'll say this: they had a strict no women on the hotel floor, whatever floor we were staying on.
Yeah.
No women allowed. So if you were
Mhm.
meeting with somebody, it had to be in the lobby, or out in the open or whatever. So we never really got into that. We were, again, so into our music
Yes.
that nothing else really mattered. Yeah, I got
Mhm.
old, of course.
And at the
We,
time, did you understand why that your team was creating that type of atmosphere for you, or was it more of like, did you fight that, or did you just like you said, just focused on the music? Did you
we just
understand why creating those boundaries?
we focused on the music, and we understood. I mean, because
Yeah.
even in our city, being PKs is a whole other thing, because
It
girls at the church, they
is.
they want to be with the pastor's sons, and it was just me and my brother.
Mhm.
So we ran into some of that at church. Like, I think we probably even liked the same girl at some point. What I'm saying? But as kids, that's kind of how it goes. And the way we were raised, we graduated together, so people thought we were twins. When we were growing up, um, and we were in the same grade, because Anson's birthday was after the deadline, so he had to wait a year to start. So he started school with me, so we went through school together. So um, yeah, we not that we didn't have any advances or anything like that, because we did.
Mhm.
And just being transparent, just like any other teenager growing up, you start feeling things, your body starts going through these changes, and you fall into whatever teenagers do. We never were into drinking, never went to drugs or anything like that, but uh, girls was a different thing.
For sure.
and,
Sure. Well,
and if
let me ask
most
you,
if most of
was there ever a time when you thought you might want to do another genre of music?
oh yeah, not till later on though. I mean, Answer can speak to that.
Yeah, yeah. It was like
You're muted.
I I thought. Uh,
You're muted. I think I can't hear you.
I think we can see you, but I think you're muted. Not on my. Let's see if I can unmute you. There you go. I can unmute you.
Hello.
There, there you are.
Okay.
We can hear you now.
Yeah, yeah, uh, yeah. There was a time I was
I
toying
can't
with
hear.
opera, and I wanted. No,
Can
I'm
you
just
hear? Because
joking.
I can't.
I can hear him. Yes, he said there was the time.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, no, it was there were talks of R&B. However, the challenge was there was the idea of this was the only type of music that would be acceptable for us to do because of how we grew up in
Mhm.
church, and then it came to a point where it took a while. Eric started working. Well, we both started writing. He started writing initially, doing a lot of writing in R&B circles, mainstream circles. Uh, I came in and did some writing and stuff as well, and we worked on a couple projects and stuff. But then uh, came a point when we were not only writing and producing, but we starting to sing some things, demo things, and it was just like, this might be something we might be able to do. But again, it went back to the idea having of how we grew up. How
Mhm.
is this going to be received? You know, very much I think to a fault. This is one of my faults that I've dealt with over the years is, you know, seeking approval. You want people's approval. You want your family's approval. You know, if you're part of a church family, you want their approval. And you know, you got a lot of input from outside that, you know, will say, I don't think that's what God wants you to do.
Sure,
You
sure.
know, having it come to the point where, you know what, I'm pretty sure that God talks to me, and I'm pretty sure that God loves me, you know, and he's not gonna, you know, just let me uh, roughshod go in the wrong direction. I think there are doors that open up, and I think, you know, it gives us opportunity to stop, you know, or, you know, it shows us, gives us clear understanding. But these, you know, Eric has talked about a lot of, you know, a lot of times that, you know, uh, this is not our salvation. This is our occupation. So, you know, the idea that we can't, this is music, entertainment across the board. I don't care if you're on the Christian side, you know, if you do gospel, R&B, it's all in the entertainment industry. So, yeah, I mean, although I extended the answer, you know, there were ideas of doing other things, but at the same time, you know, we were so drawn and so much a part of the gospel community that end of it, you know, it wasn't like just an easy jump. So I will, now as we're speaking, you know, we've got some things coming up that are giving us, a little more entrance roadway into the mainstream. So
Mhm. How do you guys differentiate between what is a Dawkins and Dawkins record and versus what is for someone else?
That's it's tricky.
yeah,
It's tricky. Because there's songs that I know that I've written for other people that
yeah,
once I get into it, I'm like, I think this is gonna be a Dawkins record.
yeah,
And
I have a
I
whole
snatch it like, yeah. We have several
and
songs
vice
on
versa
our
as well.
projects that were for other people
Yeah,
that we just ended up. I think we might do it better, or
yeah,
it might go better on our project.
yeah.
So it
Or
just
the vice
depends.
something doesn't happen on the other end, you know, on one end, or just that we worked out that, you know, that we got it instead of them, you know. But you know, if you know you're working or writing for a specific artist, you know, you try to do something that would fit them, and it may not fit us, you know. Um, so the creative energy that goes into writing, period. If it's a great song, you know, we're gonna want to do it. You know, we would definitely want to do it. But you know, if somebody else, if it just works better to have somebody else do it, then you know, we'll let them do it.
Now, you guys sound so mature today. You know, you evolved and all this.
That's the
How
day.
old, yes, how old were you when you first got into the industry and when you started seeing all of these things, all these amazing opportunities in the forefront for you? What was the age that you all got involved
I
into?
think we were 22, 23, 21, 22, something like that. So early, very early 20s. You know, um, in fact, yeah, it had to be, yeah, because we both left school. So we probably were not quite, you know, we might have been 20 and, you know, maybe 19, 20. So yeah, it was right as we were, you know, we had done a couple of years of college and we started moving in another direction. So
What does the gospel check look like tapping into the market. You got all these deals coming your way. Even and also, is there money in gospel music?
A gospel check?
Yeah, what does gospel check look like? When you know you see these deals, it's like $1 million, this and that. I mean, like, what does that look like for musicians, for artists, for gospel artists in the industry who have made it? Like, what did the first check look like for you guys, where you were like, okay, we are on our way. This is something, you know?
Well, to be
First
honest,
check.
we never made it in gospel. I mean, by that
Well,
standard,
our first
I
check,
mean,
our first check was like, yeah.
you
What
can
was
make a
that?
living. I mean, I would say we've done okay, but the majority, probably 90% of my income comes from writing and producing secular music. But there are people, of course, like the Kirk Franklins, the Yolanda Adams, the Tasha Cobbs, the lately the Chandler Moores, those types of people that have done these huge arena tours, and music is streaming like crazy. Now they're making some good money. But the average gospel artist, unless they tour a lot, they're not making a lot of money, not from record sales, because it just doesn't. Gospel doesn't. I'll say it like this: gospel doesn't support its artists like secular music does. So there's not this. It's not the same market.
But why is that? We supposed to be loving on each other, doing it to others, and all of that.
Because there's a mentality that if you're doing it for God, you should just be doing it for God, and you don't need a check. But the Bible says, "He that preaches the gospel must live off the gospel." Mm-hmm. So, we've done shows, and I remember one in particular. It wasn't even a show. I think we did probably like 3 or 4 songs at a church. Mm-hmm. And they handed us a check for like $200. And we gave it back to them. Like, in my mind, I was like, if this is all y'all can give us, y'all probably need it more than we do. So we're going to sow this back into your ministry. Mm-hmm. And it was somebody that we knew too. Like, I was like, yeah. But yeah, we've experienced that kind of stuff. It just depends on what you're willing to do as well. Like there's some stuff that we're just not going to, we're not going to do.
Yeah. Now, I want to talk a little bit about, well, first of all, let me make mention, I've also been in scenarios where I was managing talent, and, we were waiting. At least y'all got your check. We were waiting at the door.
Oh, we've done that too. We did a whole little tour, a little run in London with some people you might know, called the Gospel Gangsters. It was us and them.
Of course I do.
It was us and them, and stuff went left, and the promoter didn't have our money, and the promoter kind of got hemmed up by the gangsters.
No.
Yeah. Well, we were just over there. He didn't pay for the hotel. They locked people's stuff in the rooms in the hotels. Like, we're in a different country. Of course, me and Anson had been there before, so we were kind of wise to what was going on. We ended up getting our stuff out of our rooms before they locked the rooms, and we called somebody that we knew over there. It's like, we need you to come get us because this is going left, and I'm not trying to get put in jail in London. So yeah, we've been through those situations, and just had to like eat it. Like,
yeah,
not gonna get no money from this, so go on back to the crib and figure it out.
And it's unfortunate that you have to turn the other cheek, even in music, to an extent. And there must be a level of respect that must be had as a beginning artist to a legendary artist, as it relates to like making sure, at least if no one else, that gospel artists get paid every time, all times. I digress. I could go on and on about that, but I will save us. Spare us for that. Now I know you guys are doing a collaboration with Gene Moore, and can we talk a little bit about this took place? Why? How did you guys come together? Were you guys best buds? How did this happen?
Yeah, Gene, we've been friends with Gene for many years, probably since the early, probably 2000, early 2013, 2014. There was an event that would happen in Houston every year called Take It to the Bridge. So we were doing that show, and it would be a ton of gospel artists, but we did like they had like a later night musical type thing at a church there in Houston, and Gene was singing there, and we were there in the audience, and we heard Gene singing, and we got to meet Gene, and we thought he had a great voice, and we've been friends ever since. But Gene called me one day, and he was like, "Hey man, man, what do you think? What do you think if we did some kind of collaboration together?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, that would be cool. That'd be cool. Let me talk to Eric about it." And we batted around a little bit, and uh, as well with our team, and we were like, "Yeah, this would be something cool to do." And we did a Christmas song together, and it did help that Eric had already uh, done some writing production on a couple of his projects. So, and I'd had Gene come out to the church that I'm at and do some, and, sing at the church. So, we had great chemistry, great rapport. So, when we decided to do this past year, we decided, let's try out this Christmas song. Let's try out a Christmas song. Did the Christmas song, felt good, and then we just started. We were like, okay, this is what we're gonna do. And it's been like last weekend was the first time that we had actually done done something actually together with the three of us. So it was really cool. And I think that the way it flowed, the way we kind of flowed together, and just kind of, it's just so easy. Gene is such a great dude, and really easygoing, and we're the same way. So it's gonna be like an easygoing kind of. That's what kind of music on here. Easy going.
Love that. I love that. Now, the event is happening on Saturday, February 21st at 7 p.m. at House of Blues, Houston. Now, do you guys perform here in Houston often? Is this one of your first performances here in a while? Tell me what you expect and the energy behind it.
Yeah, it's been a minute since we've done anything in Houston. I think the last time we were in Houston was it a New Year's? No, it was no. We did a Christmas. We did a Christmas thing there a couple of years. In fact, should be very memorable. We all got COVID while we were here, or while we were in Houston. Uh, so it was one of those things that we'll never forget. We did a show. We did a show in a live video recording in Houston. So a couple, what was that, 3 or 4 years ago now. But we love coming to Houston. Great, great city. We have some family down there as well, and we believe it's going to be a lot of energy in the room. It's going to be a great experience, and hope that everybody that can comes out and gets a little bit of the Dawkins and Gene Moore experience.
Mhm. I love that. As we're wrapping this interview up, and there's never enough time with legends like you two. What is next? Give me new music that you have coming up, more dates that we can look forward to, and even projects together that we can check out.
Well, I don't know what Anson said because I haven't been able to hear him for the last 15 minutes.
Oh,
But we have, of course, the EP with Gene that we're working on. Single should be out in the next month. Dawkins Dawkins has new music coming out this year as well. We're doing we have a partnership with somebody. We're not gonna reveal it yet, but there is a partnership that is being solidified as we speak. And with Pin Credible is the name of my production company. We've got a lot of stuff happening. I have a young artist, a 12-year-old artist that we just put some music out on a couple weeks ago. Her name is Anaya Simone, and two of our background singers we're working with as well, putting projects out. One of them put a song out right before Thanksgiving, and project to come probably within the next few months. And what else are we doing, Anson? It's just a lot of stuff.
Yeah, we're
It's a
working
lot of
on
stuff.
dates. We're working on dates for Gene and Dawkins and Dawkins. We the collaboration is called AGE, Anson, Gene, and Eric, and it's mainstream R&B, love songs for grown folks that have walked through the whole, and are in process of walking through the whole deal. It's a really cool process that we love. We have the singles called Show Up, and Eric has something he wants to say.
I do see you. What you got for us, Eric?
I raised my hand. I didn't want to just start talking because I know what you were saying. I forgot to mention I did a song for this Barbara Jordan movie that's coming out. I did the end title song called When We Stand. It's featuring Aja Walls and Jason McGee in the choir, myself actually featuring them. So it's a big thing. We're actually about to put that out. They want to release the song, I think, by the end of this month, but I think we're going to push a little bit so we have some setup time. But that's a huge thing. And even coming to Houston is like, that's a thing. You know?
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Nice. Nice. Well, congratulations to you on that. I know it's a big deal.
Yeah.
This is incredible. I mean, of course, I have more questions, but we are pushed for time here. So I would love to talk more about this. I'm gonna have to bring you guys back. And
Definitely.
Yes, for sure. I do know that this Houston show built on the momentum from your Valentine's R&B love sessions.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, and that was in Atlanta on
Yeah.
Valentine's Day.
Great. It went well. It went really well.
That's
So
so
we're
good.
excited to do it again.
Oh, that's so good. That's so good. Okay, well, and lastly, this Saturday, February 21st at 7 p.m. at the House of Blues Foundation Room. You, Eric, and you, Anson, will be collaborating with Dean Moore for an upcoming event. And I'm so excited for you guys. And congratulations to you on your longevity, on your consistency. And if you could leave any words of encouragement for an up-and-coming artist or one who is been in the game for quite some time and doesn't know if they want to just sit down or keep going, what would you say to them today?
Well,
I'll each of you. First you, Anson, and then you, Eric.
okay.
I should probably go first because if he says something, I say the same thing.
Go ahead.
Well, Eric, go for it. Go for it.
For me, it's just like you mentioned, the consistency. Be consistent. Get familiar with no, because there are a lot of those. No became a good friend. Like I'm like, oh, you here again? Cool. What we doing today? Until that yes comes along. Be realistic in your expectations as well, because this is not, everybody is not for you, and you're not for everybody. So find your crowd, find your audience, and cater to them, and it'll grow from there. But also be available. Like, we make ourselves available for this, because if you're not available, then you miss out on some stuff. Like we just try to make sure that we're always where somebody can reach us, where we can be touched, and we're accessible and relatable to people. We love people, so I think this career choice is right up our alley. Because I think you have to love people to do this as well, because we run across some people who are not so lovable. So in turn, we have to make sure we turn our love up in order to win them over. So those are some words of encouragement for me. Now you answer.
Thank you, my brother. So one thing that always uh, recycles in my mind that I read several years ago, and it's been a part of my life, is that you don't wait. You can't wait for somebody to pick you. You can't wait for somebody to pick you. You have to pick yourself. And it's not, you don't wait for your turn. It's always your turn. Always your turn. You just go, you pick yourself, you write your music, you uh, find somewhere to perform your music, and just go for it. And then let the people, that those who hear it, those who want to interact with it, let them do with it what they will. We believe that we have, and you have, those artists that are trying to come up. You have a gift. You have a gift, and you're not responsible for how people receive the gift. You're responsible to share the gift. And once the gift is out of your hands, you don't have any responsibility for how they accept it or don't accept it. Just give it, and if they like it, great. If they don't, okay, that's okay too. But just do what, pick yourself. It's always your turn. So go for it. Go for it. We want to hear you. We want to be a part of celebrating you. Yeah.
Gentlemen, thank you so much for those words of encouragement. I'm going to ask Eric to go ahead and leave us with how we can find you guys, follow you all, and stay in touch with you.
Yes. Yes.
You can find me on Instagram at eDawkins, and on TikTok and Twitter is the same thing, eDawkins. Facebook, just Eric Dawkins. What is our Dawkins and Dawkins page as well?
D official D and
Official
D
D&D music.
music. Yeah, official D and D
And
music.
also,
And
Soap Incredible is the name of the Pincredibles page.
yeah,
It's new, so we're trying to get some followers up in there. So
yeah, yeah. And ADoc54. That's me. That's where you find me.
Okay, I'm going to go follow all of those pages once we're off the line here. Thank you.
are we gonna see you Saturday?
I hope so. I plan on fangirling then too. So I hope so.
We look forward to meeting you.
Absolutely. Dawkins and Dawkins, thank you so much for joining me today here on Amplify with Amanda Sapp. Many blessings to you, continued blessings to you, and thank you for all that you do, have done, and will continue to do in the world of entertainment, in the gospel industry, and beyond. Thank you.
Thank you, Amanda. Thank you. It was great
Thank
to be
you.
here. We did it.